Good time zone, my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It is your boy Tempest Rhineblood, and we are back at it again with more Shadowrun Returns. Entering the South Seattle docks. Leaving the Seamstresses Union behind, you head to the docks. The Ripper killed Sam, and maybe he or she slipped up with this latest victim. Left some useful evidence. Only one way to find out. South Seattle's your typical industrial area. Grit, grime, and gray. The rain doesn't help matters any. Layers of dirt mixed with abandoned wooden pallets, repurposed into makeshift furniture for the day workers. Garbage collects in the gutters of the broken down street. Disreputable is this district's middle name. Your destination, the National Transportation Safety Board warehouse, is located on a small strip of dock towards the less maintained end of the waterfront. Despite the presence of those who linger in such places, it's quiet as you approach the gate. So there's some random guy here, some random guy here. This looks like a hooker. I'm sorry, a joy girl. That's the proper term. Streetwalker. Okay. Let's talk to her. She might know something. Hey, you looking for a good time? Not really. You know anything about the NTSB? Yeah, the bums around here have been stealing old crap from that place for years. Not worth my time, though. Great. And that tiny bit of information might be the only thing she's given out for free. This is, of course, not to say that sex work is not real work, and not to say that it's not difficult work either, or dangerous. It's crazy stuff. Guard looks bored, toys with his gun absent-mindedly like he might shoot something on a whim just to watch it die. That's about accurate for Lone Star. Hey, you're about to trespass on corporate property. You looking to get dusted, street scum? I'm working with Lone Star on the crime scene investigation in the NTSB warehouse. Sure you are, and I'm Loafweir, the king of the dragons. Beat it. Loafweir, by the way, is one of the dragons in the Shadowrun setting, and is actually the head of the Satyr Krupp megacorporation. It's established that he, well, it's rumored that he uses the alias Hans Brackhaus, which is the German equivalent to Shadowrun's American Mr. Johnson. And it's also a known fact that every employee of Satyr Krupp meets Loafweir personally during their first period on the job. And if Loafweir doesn't like you, he eats you. Because that's what dragons do. That said, this ladder looks convenient. Let's check it out. Shall we? Hey, that's mine! Who raised you? A pack of wolves? That there ladder is rightfully mine. Not taking it very far, I just need to get over the fence. Oh, you breaking in too? You see any of them airplane blankets or pillows, get me one. Shit, alright, dude. If I can get over here, I can probably pop over the fence. Seems likely. Oh, maybe I need to go up this side path. No, I can't go there either. How inconvenient. Maybe I can get through down here. How am I supposed to pull this off? Oh, I can go talk to the streetwalker again. Hey, you looking for a good time? No, not me. Friend of mine. I need you to have some fun with the guard by the fence around the corner. She looks at you knowingly. Alright, 20 buys you a 5-minute distraction. Then I've got to get back to work and earn some real new yen. Alright, she's taking off to go distract him with some stuff. That's a big gun you got there. Oh, Lord. Alright, let's get over the fence. We did it! Yeah. Alright, let's go poking around. Love that for us. Now, we probably don't want to get caught trespassing, but at the same time, I do feel the uncontrollable urge to look for shiny shit. And as somebody who's a big fan of hunting for shiny shit... Oh, look at this helicopter. Gotta be something good here, right? Ooh, there's good shit here. Let's do it. A phosphorus grenade. I do love incendiaries. And a concussion grenade. Yeah. Send it to the stash. So based on my limited understanding of, well, I don't want to say limited understanding of actual reality, but based on, you know, what I do know of the world, the NTSB are the people who investigate airplane crashes. So all of this makes sense. And we're about to go into a new location. Anytime it asks us something like this, we can probably expect combat. The warehouse. Inside, the large gray warehouse is as typical as the outside. High ceilings adorned with girders and rickety catwalks top a huge utilitarian room. Concrete and steel walls meet a concrete floor. This is a place for storing things, and nothing more. Despite the quiet on the outside, the inside is a hornet's nest of Lone Star officers going about their business. In the center of the activity is the Emerald City Ripper's latest victim. With uniforms everywhere, no one stops you at the door. It seems this case hasn't leaked to the press. Yet. Lone Star or no, you've got a job to do. Hell yeah, let's do it. Oh no, McCluskey's already here. Let's talk to Aguirre. Took your sweet time, didn't you? Hey, you know the traffic these days, fill me in. We had time to go over the evidence while you were en route. Turns out this might not be a Ripper murder after all. I left the computer on in the office over there if you want to see for yourself. The victim worked here at the NTSB warehouse as a black box researcher. NTSB? We've now approached the Solid Snake vibe of we have to repeat everything back as a question so that we can get exposition. National Transportation Safety Board. This warehouse is used to go over the wreckage from plane crashes to try and determine what happened. Vic was in charge of their highest priority investigation. Gone through the victim's computer and his case notes indicate he was selling secrets. Idiot kept records. Spilling corp secrets. Not the wisest career choice. Nope. Some runner like you probably offed him to cover up his corp master's involvement and tried to make it look like a Ripper killing. Here's the office key. Check it out for yourself if you want. Alright, so it looks like there's a side door here. Oh, look, it's Dresden. Let's go talk to Dresden. Hey, buddy. Tempest, surprised to see you here. Let me guess, Officer Aguirre tipped you off? Suppose you must have made an impression on him at the market yesterday. Or your cred stick did, at any rate. Anyway, surprise! We've got another Ripper victim on our hands. You look like you've been putting in some overtime, Dresden. What can you tell me about the victim? Male, mixed Native American descent, age 38. Based on the condition of the body, it looks like he was killed around 2 in the morning. And yes, I am a little tired. Bodies have been piling up like cordwood, it seems. Cause of death? Unknown. Several internal organs were removed from his body after death, quite gruesomely. Not sure if the killer even knew what they wanted before they started cutting. Not much else to tell yet, really. He does have a lot of pre-existing scar tissue, so he probably had a major surgery at some point in recent history. Unfortunately, with the organs gone, I can't determine the nature of that surgery. Nice hole where his chest was. So what was on the butcher's shopping list? Well, the killer definitely took the lungs. The more I look at it, though, the other missing organs may just be eviscerated within the chest cavity. Sounds like the Ripper's taken a different trophy from every victim. Sam's liver, this guy's lungs. Any theories? Sorry, I don't do theories. I'm just a scientist who happens to prefer dead people. However, while there was massive damage in the chest cavity, I can see that the victim's lungs were transplants, which is interesting since another victim's missing heart was also a transplant. Granted, modern medicine has made organ transplants relatively easy, but it is an odd coincidence. But as a scientist, it's just that. A coincidence. This is only the third body I've personally examined. One of our other branch managers handled the other two. If I find that more of the victims had organ transplants, I'll let you know. How's Aguirre doing on the case? He seems like a real go-getter. Aguirre would love to solve it before McCluskey and get his gold detective shield, plus he'd love to see McCluskey suck it in front of his superiors. He's already tried to bribe me to keep information from McCluskey and slip it to him. I am inspired by their tireless pursuit of justice. Take the money? You have any idea how much this job pays these days, sir? I don't think Aguirre's officer's salary is going to do much to seduce me into helping him. So what about McCluskey? Is he getting closer to a suspect? You couldn't find his ass with both hands. Don't tell him I said that. So who's the woman over there? No clue. She just showed up. Next to kin, I think. I'm gonna go poke shit. Hi there, lady. Who are you? Janin Halfsky. You're not a cop. He looks up, watching you warily. I could say, I'm independent. What's your relationship to the dead man? I see you've been praying. Do you know the deceased? Yeah, we'll take the compassionate approach. Yes, he's my older brother. I've asked Bear to help me speak to him. So I'm guessing she's a shaman. She shakes her head, looking like one who's found herself lost for the first time in her life. But I'm afraid his spirit is too disoriented by his recent journey to answer me. You're a shaman? Yes, for all the good it's doing me. If I could just make contact, I might be able to deliver justice and allow my brother's spirit to rest. I can tell you're used to shouldering a heavy burden. Maybe there's an easier way. She looks at you, the flattery largely failing to affect her, but then inspiration dispels the dark cloud surrounding her. Perhaps. My brother's spirit is too weak. That's a given. But my brother's spirit may not be alone here this night. She closes her eyes and concentrates, droning a low chant you can barely hear. Yes, there are others. Other spirits who may be of help. Her features harden in frustration as if she's searching for something that remains elusive. Sighing, she opens her eyes and fixes you with a stare. But I can't do it alone. Well, what do you need? This warehouse contains the spirits of plane crash victims trapped between worlds. They wish to help, they wish to be heard, and I think they have something to say about my brother's murder. Lone Star won't let me in there, but you seem to have the run of the place. You can find personal items that belong to the victims. I believe I can summon a spirit to speak with us. I'll need at least 2 such objects. Can you find them for me? I'll do what I can. No promises, of course. How are we going to find haunted objects when we're not magically sensitive? Alright, I think we'll search this room first. There's a lot of rooms here that we're going to have to go through. A urinal. You don't need to go right now. The old poster depicts a svelte young woman posing with an assault rifle. Always found that to be an interesting word. Svelte. Here we are. A room. Okay, yeah, this must be the computer that Aguirre was telling us about. The researcher's work terminal has been left on, presumably by Lone Star. Let's look at File 95. Case File 95, Federated Boeing Jetliner, ID number 2305, corporate owner Ares Macro Technologies. The plane had several mechanical issues resulting in a mayday at 3:04 a.m. on June 17, 2053. At 2:45 a.m., the pilot reported that the altimeter was reading in the negatives. 2:49 a.m., 4 minutes later, co-pilot takes over the controls as the pilot leaves the cabin to investigate the rear of the plane. 58, pilot cannot be contacted or located by a plane steward. 3:04, co-pilot radios in a mayday. 3:12, plane crashes into an empty field in western North Dakota. So the pilot left his seat and vanished from the plane. He must have jumped out. He had to have had a chute. Anyway, read the notes for case file 96. Pratt & Whitney, unmanned, IDN 327, corporate owner, Ares Macro Technologies, summary redacted, time log redacted. So an Ares Macro Technology drone. Maybe the drone took out the plane. Case file 98. File has been corrupted. Okay, let's look at his private notes. Notes that appear on screen pertain to NTSB case file 96, the crash of an Ares jetliner near the UCAS and Sioux Nation border. Crashes repeatedly reportedly the result of an equipment failure. Reading further into the investigator's notes, you find substantial evidence linking the crash to an experimental Renraku research initiative. This information could be worth a great deal to the right buyer. Download the researcher's notes to your PDA. What we have just found is called pay data. It's data that we can then sell to a fence or an info broker to get quite a bit of money on the black market. Or the gray market, depending on how you approach these things. Information wants to be free. This appears to be the victim's locker. The door is slightly ajar. Inside you see several of the dead man's personal items. We can inspect the toothbrush or the comb. Let's look at the comb. As you reach for the comb, the hair on the back of your neck stands on end, and when you take it off its little shelf, your heart thumps in your chest. Hard. This must be one of the items the shaman was looking for. You pocket the comb. Let's look at the toothbrush. Still wet from being used. Smells of mint and cigarettes. Well, not much else anybody can say about that. Let's go poke that other door. This looks like a recreation of a cabin. Blown out engine. A blown out prop, rather. I don't know. I am not the best at figuring that sort of thing out. But I do want to poke this. It's hard to say whether this is a heap of items and refuse recovered from a plane crash or simply trash that hasn't been taken out yet. Let's poke at it. A sticky substance of some sort seems to have seeped through the trash pile, and your hands are quickly covered with the stuff. After searching for a minute, you unearth a handful of interesting items. There's an earring, a dented lunchbox, and a cred stick. The cred stick's gonna be money. 200 new yen. Let's look at the lunchbox. A dented tin lunchbox that's seen better days. You can barely make out the face of a grinning troll on the front. Let's look at the earring. It probably has significance. The earring is made out of burnished steel, formed into the shape of a small salmon. An intense primal fear watches over you as you touch its surface. This must be one of the items the shaman was looking for. You take the earring. Hooray! We did it! But how do we get through to this room? That's something I want to figure out. Because there's more to this location that we haven't explored. What's over here? This looks like something. Dig through the piles of shoes. Sorting through the shoes, you realize there are 3 shoes with no matching pair. A left blue sneaker, a red high-heeled pump, and a black dress shoe. Black dress shoes are common. They could be affiliated with anybody. I think the high-heeled pump is what we should look at. Department store knockoff of an Italian brand. It's otherwise unremarkable. Okay, the sneaker. A child's and has a musty, sweaty smell. Oddly, you get a sort of shock, as if from static electricity when you touch it. You take the shoe. Inspect the dress shoe. Black lace up with a rubber sole. Okay, nothing major. And it looks like there's nothing else here that we can screw with. So I think we should go back to Shannon Half-Sky. Have a conversation with her. It feels as though you have found enough objects. Yes, that's definitely not the game telling us that we accomplished the fetch quest. Here they are. Hand her the objects you found. She closes her eyes and chants over them. When her eyes open again, they're filled with tears. Thank you. These items are all I will need. It shouldn't take me long to... What the hell is all this? Uh-oh, it's McCluskey. She's the victim's sister, sir. She is a crime scene, officer, not some sailor's drum circle. Isn't it standard procedure to contact next of kin? Ma'am, consider yourself contacting. Now get the hell out. Come on, if we stay much longer, I'm liable to do something I'd regret. Or worse, something I'd enjoy. Gain some karma. Go back to talking to her. That man is an ass. She stares daggers at McCluskey from across the warehouse. But there's no helping it now. I should just be grateful you were able to collect these items before those clods carted everything off. Can we still summon the spirit? Not from here. Spirits such as these have domains to which they're anchored. We need to get back in there. Well, it's not looking good now, but do you have any plans for the evening? A little breaking and entering, perhaps, under cover of darkness. Really, you can't be, like, coy about anything? You sure you're up for this? Maybe a rabbit hole, but I do have to get to the bottom of it. Whatever your reasons, I thank you. Now, since we have the time, we should probably enlist some help. They may post security overnight. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you know where to find the kinds of people we need. I'm just gonna grin. Good, I'll put up the money if you find the bodies. She produces a fistful of crumpled nuyen from inside a leather pouch, starts to count it out, then shoves the whole wad at you. Meet me back here at midnight. The spirits will be strong then. I think that's our orders. Ooh, we missed an item. Damn it. Alright. Oh wait, that door was locked. We couldn't have gotten in there anyway. We'll have to come back later. As you start to leave the warehouse, your comlink chirps and the face of Coyote pops on the screen. Coyote looks tense. Oi, Tempest. You in the middle of something? Just getting jerked around by Lone Star. Same old thing. I hear ya. Her jaw sets. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was born in the Royale. BTL pushers like Stevie J ran the squads. Ran my world when I was growing up. I remember. Whiz. I have a cousin, Gino, who's been missing for months. He hit the sprawl about a year ago and immediately fell in with some tweakers. Bad guys. They hooked him on high-amp dream chips and started using him for all sorts of dreck. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away. Then he disappeared. I've been shooting up BTL labs ever since trying to find him. Guessing you have a new lead. It's not a lead. Her face lights up. She's running hot. Has a serious edge. I know exactly where he is this time. Got an old friend who eyeballed him herself. I'm on my way. Paco's with me, but we could use another hand. You in? I need you right now. Hell yeah, dog, let's do it. I knew you'd come. I'll send you the address. See you soon. We are going to be busy, we are going to be exhausted, but you know what? A Shadowrunner's work is never done. Which leads us to Coyote's Crusade. Cluster of dilapidated buildings where Coyote told you to meet her appears to be the remnants of a public housing project. Buildings look like a cesspool filled with human debris. You find her standing with Paco on a street corner, eyeing the roofs, the doorways, the windows. Despite his attempts to engage her, Coyote barely says a word as the three of you weave your way through the tenements. She walks purposefully, her new cyber hand flexing open and closed with each step. It's unclear whether the action is voluntary or not. You circle around the back of a building, and Coyote jumps up, grabs the bottom rung of a fire escape ladder, and pulls it down. Without a signal, she starts her climb toward the roof. Paco looks at you worriedly and starts up the ladder. Hell yeah, let's kick some ass. Thanks for meeting us, Tempest. I owe you one. No sweat. Figured you could use the backup. Yeah, you never know what sort of firepower to expect in one of these BTL squads. She brightens. Oh, hey, listen. I got good news for you. You know Sam's sister, Jessica? One of my contacts found her for me while you were on your way here. I called her and asked her to meet you at the Union later today. Hope that helps. Good job. Thanks. And just like that, she's earned my backup. She got me a lead. She looks at you, her scarred face soft. Least I can do. Alright, let's get this done. My cousin Gino should be in one of the squats past that door up ahead. I hear there's a whole lab set up in there. In my experience, there's usually a lookout watching for cops outside and a guard at the door inside. Like I said, don't know how much firepower to expect, but these guys are nasty, so stay on guard. I just want to get in, grab Gino, and get out. Right behind you, babe. Let's do this. Coyote and Paco must survive. Alright, let's go talk to this juiced up troll. BTL Clocker. The orc looks twitchy, his eyes rolling in his head. He scans the three of you, looks past to see if there are others, licks his lip, and nods throughout as if going through some internal checklist. Like, how you doing? Good day for a trip, ain't it? He leans in, whispers in your ear. This guy's a clocker. Trades work time for chips. Part salesman, part lookout. Probably has a signal device for the guys inside. You wanna go on a ride? kind of rides can I go on? Got it. All of it. We got it all, yeah. What do you want to do? You want to do some crime? You want to be bad? We can hook you up. You don't roll that way? Want to be a hero? Be a hero. We got fairy tale direct chummer's love. You name it. And you can slag and frag to your heart's content. That's the real thing, right? Slagging and fragging. Don't matter what the trip, as long as there's slagging involved, right? Coyote's eyes are hard, her pupils tight little pinpricks of hate. You do snuff too, don't you? Walker looks around, more nervous now. Maybe, yeah. For the right price. You can feel it. What it's like to die. What it's like to kill. Just let me in. See you around after this. Probably see you lots. In we go. Now, depending on the vibe, and really depending on the setting of this, I feel as though walking up to that guy and blowing his head off would have been a good idea. Because we could just John Wick our way through this. It wouldn't be the first time I've done some shit like that. Ooh, the Ancients. They are an elven supremacist gang. Concerned woman. Okay. Hi, concerned woman. Let me talk to you. The woman is probably in her 30s, but hard times have aged her. She looks at you with concern. Don't do it, friends. Don't slot that dreck they're selling. BTLs are killers. Theirs most of all. Sound like you know from experience. She pulls back her hair to show you. No implant. Then her mouth tightens and her eyes well up in tears. I do. I know. I lost my husband. Lost my son. My daughter. They use her. Yikes. Record. Tears stream down her face. Well, she's not going to have a pass card to get in because she doesn't have a data jack. She can't actually slot a BTL chip. So that is not worth exploring. What kind of guards do they have? They're serious. This place is backed by the Yakuza. Japanese mafia. Oh, man. Are we going to have to fight Kazuma Kiryu? Nah, Kiryu's too honorable for this shit. Kiryu would be charging in here, punching people. Which makes me think I should run a Yakuza LP. Let me be real. Now that said, how many, what kind of firepower? There's a guy on the door, Charlie. He sells the passes to get in. He's not tough. Blind him one. There's another 5 or so wandering around. 2 of them are bad news, covered in magic symbols. Me. 2 mages. Crappy solo on the door. Alright, we can handle it. She's amped. Ready. 5 or 6? That's not so bad. We have surprise on our side. Any chip heads in the lab? Yep, all day. All night. They could be dangerous too. Chip heads? Dangerous? Well, yeah, we saw that at the BTL studio. We could have programmed them to be angry and they would have gone berserk and started attacking everything. Once someone's chipped, they can send them any program they want. Make them do whatever. Turn them into whores, killers, anything. We're looking for a kid named Gino. Know him? Who doesn't? He's here all the time. Gino's a clocker. Trades his time for chips like their little errand boy. I saw him go in there this morning. He hasn't come out, so I imagine he's riding a dream chip. You know what? Why not? Let's ask if there's a pass. No, but Jamal has my son's card. Took it off him when his brain fried. Jamal's down the hall. I don't know if he'll give it up, but that's between you and him. Gotta go. Any loot? What a shame. Well, let's see if we can throw a grenade down the hall or something. Who's this guy? This is Jamal. Hello, Jamal. Why don't we have a chat? He has the look of a long-time chiphead, emaciated, hollow-eyed, hungry and desperate. What are you looking at? You got a pass card. You're right. I got a few. Sell them at a discount. Charlie charges 50, but I can get you 3 for 100. You know what? We're going to have to dip into our operational slush fund. I was thinking 75. I was thinking fuck off. So we don't have an option to negotiate with this guy. Damn it. So we can pay 150 for the 3 of us to get in. Or we pay 100 to this dipshit. Because if I muscle on him, he's gonna aggro everybody. He's gonna scream for help. Alright, we'll just pay the guy. We'll dip into the operational slush fund and deal with that shit. Thing in here? Loot, perhaps? Alright, Charlie. Let's have a conversation. Charlie's an orc with an expression of boredom and one milky eye. He drones through his standard patter. You need a pass? 50 new yen each, 150 for the lot of you. That'll let you come and go as you please. You can chip in there, and we'll keep you safe while you ride. BDL chips are separate costs, last about 3 hours, prices vary, buy those inside. I could sucker punch him in his blind eye. I mean... we have to make a choice here. We could John Wick our way in. No, we're gonna go quiet until we have to go loud. We're professionals. Great, have fun. We go. Keep on moving, cross the bridge. Keep on looking. Pros. Worth looking at over here. Oop. In we go. The entire floor of this tenement has been given over to a chaos of technology and squalor. Across the room, a chromed-out Decker argues loudly with an armed thug, abruptly falling silent as they turn towards you. Shotgun-wielding thug squeaks in panic. It's the crew that took out Stevie J's place. I told you it was only a matter of time. The man with the cyberdeck calmly speaks with a heavily digitized voice. You messed with the wrong BTL lab, a-hole. This is a Yakuza operation. With a push of a button, I can make these tweakers into my own personal killer puppets. You're fragged. Tempest, don't attack any of the chipheads. They don't know what they're doing, and you could hurt Gino. No civilian casualties. Got it. I have a concussion grenade. Better than fragging the tweakers if they get caught in the middle. No, I'm gonna kill the Decker first. But we do have to remember, there's 6 hostiles. Minimum. Okay, that's a BTL operator. Let's go. This, I can probably score a kill with. I'm within crit range. I have a 19% crit chance. I am pretty sure I'm gonna do some serious damage here. 2 HP left. Get Shrek'd. Paco, you're killing me here. Oh, and she's also packing a shotgun. Okay. What else is she? Oh, and she's got a pistol. Just like our boy. How lovely. We have an 81% chance to hit with the pistol. She has 2 HP. And somehow we miss. The junkie ran behind cover, which I find interesting. I'm actually going to circle around, take a shot at the Decker. I'm going to let Paco tie up the BTL operator here. Let's see if he can involve himself with something. No, it doesn't appear that he can. So we're going to move her up through cover. We only have a 74% chance to hit the Decker from here. But I think what we probably want to do is take out the security guy here. Glancing shot on Coyote. Not too terrible. But now she's tied up in melee with a chip head. This is a problem. Oh, there's our mage. give this guy some 12 gauge medicine. Let me see what we have here. Yakuza Shaman, BTL Bodyguard. Do I have a grenade? Shit. Don't have the ability to use it. Always geek the mage. Another glancing blow on Coyote. She's gonna be hurt bad. Not good. The shaman is what I'm concerned about because of that spirit. Yup, here it is. Closing distance with the sword. Well, we don't like that. No siree ba. I think we're gonna have to reposition because we don't really have a reliable plan here. Let's see if we can get Paco to beat this guy to death. It's something. If we kill the shaman, the spirit should go away. Problem solved. Yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. We're getting mobbed by chipheads. And there's the second person. Wait, who's this guy? Mage? Okay, it's another bodyguard. Got it. Yeah, I got a plan. This is going to be... Okay, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever done, but it's going up there. Suck phosphorus. And you just finish beating this guy to death, please. Okay, Coyote cannot make it there. So we're gonna have to rely on being able to just fight our way up there. We should be able to deactivate the BTL computer from here. If we forcibly end the puppet BTLs, I'm a little bit concerned that they're gonna, like, die of chip shock or something. But I also don't want to risk them waking up. Now, it doesn't look like they're taking actions. Walk away. Then we're gonna get Paco in there. Start hitting people. Same for Coyote. We're just gonna start putting some 12 gauge lead down range. Pop, pop. Oh, and she died of being on fire. Okay, yeah, we don't really have a choice. We have to spin that down. That sucks. Alright. Forcibly end the BTLs. They won't attack us anymore. And we're looking for Gino. Fade to black and fade in. That's the last of them. Do not let any chipheads die. We completed the objective. That's alright. We did good. So as we're going to talk to Gino, that's where we're going to call the episode. I want to thank everybody once again for coming out. It's been a pleasure playing Shadowrun Returns for all of you. Please stay tuned for further uploads. I can't necessarily say we're going to be sticking to the upload schedule, but I do want to. So thank you once again. Remember, if you liked what you saw today, like, comment, and subscribe. Please feel free. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, tell your pets. And remember, Mr. Rogers would love you just the way you are, and so do I. Be good to each other.